Welcome to Primal Armor, a podcast centered on helping each and every listener strive for a healthier tomorrow. I'm your host, Jeff Kimple, and I'll be covering every aspect within the field of health, helping you build that strong foundation for improving your physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and more. It's time to take your personal wellness into your own hands, and Primal Armor is going to help you reach those goals. I just want to thank you for taking the time today to tune in and listen to today's topic. Enjoy. Before we get started into the episode, I just want to take a few seconds to thank today's sponsor, Anchor Podcasts. They allow me to create and edit these podcasts for you guys. They're also the ones who distribute this podcast to other platforms such as Spotify and the Apple Podcast app on your phone, so you guys can listen to it anywhere at any time. It's everything needed all in one app. I encourage you all to get started today. Go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and follow the podcast. Now we're a dozen episodes into the podcast, and I have the coolest topic to talk about. I just spent the last week in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center. When I say that there's nothing else like it in this world, that's an understatement. This is a facility that produces the most elite human beings to ever walk this planet. They eat, sleep, and breathe excellence. Just walking around their campus, you begin to realize how different they are than everyone else in this world. And that's why they're the top 0.0001%. I can't believe that I got the opportunity to live amongst these athletes for a week and see what their life is really like. Live in the same dorms as they do, train in the same gym as they do, eat in the same cafeteria as them. It was one of the coolest experiences of my entire life. I attended a bunch of speaking sessions by some of the top people in sports, health, and nutrition in the entire world. And that just really made me realize how much better I could be taking care of myself. That really makes me happy, though, because I've been preaching to you guys for weeks upon months about how we all need to step up and become healthier. And now I have a new perspective that shows me even I have a ton of room to improve on. So getting to speak to a whole bunch of these athletes while I was there, I soon began to realize what it takes to become the best that you can possibly be. I've always felt like the oddball for how much time and effort I put into my health and nutrition, so much that I even made this podcast to help others. But speaking to these Olympian athletes, some of which who won multiple medals to be the best in the world, I see now that I pale in comparison to these top in the entire world. I just want to put it into a perspective for you to show you how crazy hard they work and how dedicated they are. I got the opportunity to listen and talk to one of the top Paralympic skiers in the world. He told me that he spends 4 entire years training, eating, sleeping, bleeding, shedding tears, being away from his family for one event on one day at the Olympic Games. And that one event lasts 6 seconds. 6 seconds downhill, he hits a jump and he's done. That's 4 years of training that sets you up for 6 seconds. Now think about that for a second. One thing that you mess up, and that can make that entire 4 years mean nothing. You have to be absolutely perfect in everything you do. That's what gets you that extra 1% to edge out the competition, get on the podium, and get that medal. That means every single thing that you eat, each second that you sleep, and every step that you take has to be meaningful and working towards that best 6 seconds that you can make it. There's no room for mistakes. Can you imagine putting your whole life and soul into something for 4 years just to have it all be over in 6 seconds? That's the type of dedication that these astounding human beings have, that what sets them apart from you and I. So no matter what sport, what athlete, what limitation they have, you can just tell that they're different. It was just the attitude that they have and how they go at life. It's something that I tried to soak in and learn while I was there for the past week so I can apply it to my life. These athletes have access to some of the coolest equipment and facilities on the planet, and that's what makes them the way that they are. They have zero-gravity treadmills that help the athletes recover and return quicker from injuries, cold tubs, hot tubs, personal chefs, dietitians, personal strength coaches, physical therapists, chiropractors. They even have their own hospital on site. They even have a room where you can put the athlete in there, sealed up, and change the barometric pressure and the oxygen saturation in the room to mimic different training at different altitudes. This is only one of 2 rooms in the entire world that can do this. They can raise the elevation to thousands of feet taller than Mount Everest, which is the tallest thing in the world. So they have the access to the greatest amenities in the world, and that's what helps separate Team USA from everyone else in the Olympics. Getting access to train in their facility was one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. I've got to train there every single day amongst the boxing and wrestling teams, and it's also the same place that Michael Phelps, Katie Ledecky, Justin Gatlin, Allison Felix, Simone Biles, Allie Raisman, and all the other Olympians that you know, that's where they built themselves into what they are today. I also got access to the Team USA basketball court, where players such as Kobe Bryant and LeBron James have practiced en route to winning multiple gold medals. Went into the wrestling room and got to meet last year's world champion. Got to watch Team USA swimming practice in the pool. It was just an awesome experience to be on that campus that I cannot describe without being in that type of atmosphere. While I was there, I got to make some cool connections with people that are part of Team USA that build the Olympians but actually aren't the athletes themselves. I got the opportunity to meet Rob Skinner, and for you who don't know who he is, he's probably one of the most badass dudes on this planet. First, he started off as a strength coach at Auburn University, and he trained hundreds of athletes at a time. From there, he got in with the Navy SEALs, and he worked training some of the most other badass dudes on the planet. From there, he found himself as a dietitian with the Washington Redskins, and now he's transitioned into being a dietitian for Olympians in Colorado Springs. He has connections with almost everyone that you can think about just because of all the jobs he's had over all the years. He's the only person in this world who's worked with collegiate athletes, professional athletes, the tactical force, and Olympians, which sets him apart from everyone else. He was just such an interesting man to get to know, and exchanging contact information with him was one of the coolest things I've ever done up to this point in my life. Then, not even 10 minutes later, I run into a man called David Taylor, who's a physical therapist and exercise physiologist for Team USA. He's not nearly widely as known as Rob, but he's got just as cool of a story. He was a very personal dude. He just really wanted to get to know me and what my aspirations are. So after nerding out about science and health for about 45 minutes, he begins to tell me how he worked with the Memphis Grizzlies, which is an NBA team, about several years ago, and he helped rehab Marc Gasol's injury to the point where he was in discussion to be one of the best players in the league at that point in time. From there, he got a connection with the Golden State Warriors, which is another NBA team, and one that has built itself into a dynasty over the last decade. Mid-conversation, he tells me he's got to run because he gets a call, that he's got to go catch a plane. He's got to go back to San Francisco to help work with rehabbing Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. So not only is he working with Team USA and Olympians, he's also working still with an NBA team and working with two of arguably the greatest basketball players in this world right now. So before he took off, we exchanged contact information so that we can still stay in touch. And I just thought that was really awesome. So after making all these types of connections and expanding my professional career, I got the chance to settle down and have some fun on one of my last few days there. I got the opportunity to learn the sport of wheelchair basketball. We played for hours upon hours until we literally got blisters on our hands from how hard we were going. I had a ton of fun, got to watch some of USA Boxing's athletes come play basketball along with us, and Notre Dame's official mascot was actually my teammate. These are all experiences that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. Tons of learning, tons of new connections, tons of new friends, and tons of fun. I wrote down a lot of notes and brought back a lot of things I'm going to be covering over the next handful of podcasts. This has just given me something that's just a renewed mindset and a rejuvenated mindset that I hope that I can carry over to you guys as well. I hope you all have a great week, and be on the lookout for future podcasts as I relate what I learned from some of the most special and unique people in this field of health and wellness.